Your business. Oh, that's 4 o'clock in the morning voice. Welcome, Cassandra Von Worsley. If you are watching the rebroadcast in the private Facebook group or you are watching it on YouTube, be sure that you take a few notes this morning. Be sure that you listen to your inner knowing because we are talking about 5 ways to get and keep momentum. 5 ways to get and keep momentum. Have you ever found yourself working on a business idea, a business project, a new product, a new service, or even if you're an aspiring entrepreneur, you're working on thinking about the kind of business you're going to take your talents and your gifts and branch out into. And you get excited, you get motivated, you've got all of these ideas, you're writing them down, you're starting to think about how you're going to implement them. And that flow of passion and that flow of energy, it goes for a few days, maybe even a few weeks, but all of a sudden something shifts. Life gets in the way. Your doubts start to set in, and then all of that fire and all of that passion, all of that purpose that you had for this new idea, before long you turn around and it's been 2 weeks and you haven't done anything on it, or it's been 2 months and you haven't done anything on it. That is an example of your inner critic, with the help of some other parts of you, stopping the process and you not even knowing it because all of it is happening on a subconscious level. So before we even get to talking about how do you get and keep momentum, let's get some awareness around why momentum stops and why so often by the time you notice that your momentum has stopped, it's been a week, it's been days, sometimes it's been months. So one of the ways that the inner critic loves to prove to us that we're not good enough is through starting and stopping. So the inner critic loves to say and speak to you in such a way that says, do you see? If this was really something you were going to do, if you could really do this business, you wouldn't be the kind of person who seesaws. You wouldn't always be on the fence. You wouldn't be the kind of person that does a lot for a little bit of time and then stops for 2 weeks and then comes back. People who are successful in business, they don't stop when they start like that. They don't seesaw around. They're consistent, they're persistent, and you haven't been. When was the last time you were consistent and persistent? When was the last time you really went all in and did this for a long period of time? In fact, you probably don't have the energy to go all in full time anyway. Notice how the inner critic is really pinpointing and putting a flashlight on what you perceive to be weaknesses, when in reality, when your subconscious starts to do that procrastination, stopping the momentum thing, it's a protection mechanism. It is how there are different parts of you, right? So there's the inner critic, but there's also this procrastinator part. And there's also this go into the corner part. We have all these different parts of us that are operating on the subconscious level that are trying to protect us. And meanwhile, on the conscious level, when our inner critic starts chirping, we go, yeah, maybe that's right. Maybe, I don't stick with anything for very long, or I don't seem to, I get traction and then I stop. Maybe this is just me. Maybe this is just who I am. So first step to getting and keep momentum is being fully aware of what is going on within your subconscious. A lot of this stuff, this lack of sustaining your momentum, is subconscious shit. So I want you to understand that this is not who you are. This is just what I do. A lot of this is subconscious shit. I'll call it SS, subconscious shit. And the importance of being aware of it is not that you're going to have your conscious go into your subconscious and shift all of that. We're not going to do that overnight. There's a process to that. It's to be aware consciously that when you lose your momentum, this has nothing to do with your will or your self-discipline or your focus. There is SS going on, subconscious shit. And so once you're aware that you've got subconscious shit that happens, then you can give yourself a little bit of a break and you can go, okay, there's SS going on. What can I do to lessen the subconscious shit? What can I do to be aware when the subconscious shit sets in? What can I do to shift out of SS when I notice that it's happening? This is where we get to 5 ways to get and keep momentum. So this is going to sound really simple, but it's very powerful. So if you can have faith in the powerful part of this and not get hung up on how simple this is, these simple 5 ways that I'm about to tell you will shift what's going on the subconscious level, and you don't have to micromanage it. You do not have to make it about more than it is. So 5 ways to get and keep your momentum. Let's talk about it. Number 1, move. Physically move. One of the reasons that I love to work out in the AM, even though like this morning I'm saying to myself, I did hair and makeup and sweating is going to screw that up. One of the reasons that I love to physically move is because it gets you out of your head. It gets you out of the conscious, like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? What should I be doing? You know, all of that conscious worry, anxiety, trying to figure it out in your head stuff actually gives the subconscious shit more power, because what happens on your subconscious level is 100 times more powerful than anything you can do on the conscious. But you're not going to use the conscious mind to control the subconscious approach. So first thing, we're not going to try to control what's going on the subconscious. We're going to leave SS alone, but we're going to physically move. And the reason why physical movement actually helps you get and keep momentum is because when you physically move, you get out of your head, you get into your body, you get present, and your subconscious gets to move around. It's not sitting in anxiety. Like the SS that's going on actually breaks free a little bit when you physically move. So physical movement means jumping on a rebounder, which not only is good for movement, but it gets your inner child, that part of you that loves fun and freedom and joy. It gets that inner child like happy and jumping. So rebounders are amazing for that. Working out is amazing for that. Find workouts that you love to do. Like I love Zumba. I love spin. You see my Peloton bike back there. Things that make you feel powerful and sexy and smart and amazing, whatever those movements are. Some people like to, rock climb. Some people like to run. Whatever your jam is for physical movement, make sure on a daily basis you are physically moving. Tony Robbins calls this the hour of power. You want and typically one of the first hours of your day to be about freeing up energy through physical movement, which also frees up a lot of the SS that's going on that you might not even be aware is going on. So first thing, physically move. Second way to get and keep your momentum. And this is another simple one. Listen and watch things that empower you. I love Tony Braxton. When I was in college, I would play Breathe Again over and over and over and over again, to the point where my roommate my freshman year of college was sick of me. She was sick of me. Now listen, as much as I love Tony Braxton, I'm going to tell you that I typically listen to Tony Braxton when I am in a sad space, a sad mood, because almost all of Tony Braxton's songs are about heartbreak, I'll never breathe again, be a man about it. What we listen to can either empower or disempower us. So when you are in a phase of, I want to start this business, I want to grow this business, I want to build this business, to deal with your subconscious shit, you need to be vigilant. I mean, hyper vigilant about what you listen to, which is why I'm always listening to Abraham. I'm always listening to motivational videos on YouTube. I am putting some sort of entrepreneurial training in my ear throughout the day, because what you hear, what you see, impacts your subconscious in a way that to an extent you have no idea. So pay attention to what you're listening to and watching, because that is going to empower you. And have what I call your momentum movie or your momentum music. So I have Spotify playlists for when I lift weights. I have Spotify playlists for when I'm running. I have different playlists that get me into different modes of being. Have playlists, whether it's on iTunes or Spotify, that are designed, all of those songs are designed to empower you. Have your momentum movies. Can I tell you a momentum movie that I love? My momentum movie is Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2. And typically it's the last 10 minutes of the movie. You know, I'm not going to, if anybody hasn't seen Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2, I'm not going to ruin it for you. But the last 10 minutes of that movie is my momentum movie. Every time I watch just the last 10 minutes of that movie, I'm fired up. I'm just like ready to fight a warrior mode. The warrior part of me comes out and it's on. You need to have a momentum movie. You need to have quite a few momentum movies, and you've got to have momentum music so that when you start to find yourself lower in energy, not taking action, feeling the momentum being zapped away, or if it's already gone, you turn on the playlist, you turn on the momentum movie, you watch it, you get the energy back. Now, I'm going to say something about that. When you have lost momentum, when you're not in the mood to take action, the urge for you is going to be to not turn on movies or music that give you momentum. Your urge is actually going to be, like for me, to listen to Toni Braxton's Breathe Again, to listen to, Why Won't You Love Me, right? To listen to the things that are keeping you in that subconscious self-sabotage space. Do not listen to your inklings when that happens. Force yourself to watch your momentum movie. Force yourself to listen to your momentum music and give yourself to those messages, and your momentum will come back. So, way number 2 to get and keep momentum, listen to and watch empowering music and movies. Number 3, surround yourself with people who pump you up. See, this sounds simple. So we all have the friends that pump us up, and we all have the friends that don't. I'm being nice when I say that. Surround yourself with the people who, I call it, give you life. You know, the people who give you, the people you go, they just give you life. And call those people when you start to lose momentum. Text those people when you start to lose momentum. Tell those people, a lot of us play this game of, I can do it on my own. I'm an island. No, you're not. No, you're not. Call the people who pump you up. You know what? Because when they pump you up, you'll pump them up. And you'll be that for somebody else. Don't ever feel like you can't get the support from the people you need. I always tell my clients, text me when you're having a low moment. We will fix that shit in like 30 seconds. 2 text messages. Text me, because you are going to do that for somebody else along your life journey. You're going to do that for many people, and many people are going to do it for you. And it's a gift when you get to be the person who pumps somebody else up. It's a gift when somebody else gets to be that for you. Don't feel guilty for calling upon your inner circle to help lift you out of a funk. That's what we're here for. Remember, at the end of the day, we're all in this together. So surround yourself with people who pump you up. I'm not even going to go into the emotional vampires or the people who don't pump you up. That's a whole other FB Live, a whole other week. We'll talk about them. We'll get to the drop them like it's hot moment. Not today. So the 4th way to get and keep momentum, before you work on anything, go over your why out loud. I can't say this enough in business. If you aren't crystal clear about your why it matters, why your tribe needs you, why they needed you 10 years ago, why. And people think, well, I know my why. No. This is not what I'm saying. If you want to get and keep your momentum, your why has to be there every single day and in your face, first thing in the morning. Go over your why out loud. It will help you get and keep your momentum. And 5th, force yourself to work when you're not in the mood. This is where training comes in. You're not always going to be in the mood. So momentum and mood are different. I will talk about that on another FB Live training. Momentum and mood are different. You've got to force yourself to work when you're not in the mood, and you need to use whatever you need to use to do that. Your movement, your music, your movies, some friend helping you pump up, whatever it is. But you've got to get to a place where you say, it doesn't matter whether I feel like